Pluribus is a show not just to be enjoyed, it makes you think a lot, and it kind of keeps you in this constant state of thinking. Like, even if I haven't watched an episode for 2 weeks, say, randomly something will pop inside my head, and I'm texting my friends, asking them questions that, what about this concept in pluribus? How can this be resolved? And um, do these people have normal bodily functions, not just which are essential, but also things, bodily functions that we do out of desire, like running or kissing or holding hands or hugging. Um, so, point being, pluribus makes you think. Some questions that I've been thinking about are firstly consciousness. I am not an expert on consciousness, so my idea of consciousness is only based off of vibes. I haven't formally studied it, not really, very surface level. Um, so it was basically descriptional, nothing too deep. I think I always thought of, I didn't know this before this question came into my mind, but I had always thought of consciousness as something limited, as like a, let's say, a physical space, a limited physical space, only so much can fit in it, right? And my question about the hive mind in the show is they share one consciousness, right? And consciousness, I don't look at it as something that can be multiplied, because there are, let's say, 10 people whose consciousness is one, so it'll be like 10 times the space. I would think one consciousness means one singular, itna bada hi. So, and this consciousness involves memories, ideas, beliefs of all the people in the world and all of these people's experiences. How can all of that fit inside this limited section of consciousness? Now, obviously, the answer could be very simple, that my conception of consciousness is wrong, it isn't this much. But then it's limitless, it's unbounded, but to what extent? But that question doesn't apply, right? Because it's unbounded. But is it? It doesn't feel like intuitively. This is um, flag that a lot of philosophers get. There's something a lot of philosophers get flag for using the term intuitively. But intuitively, I don't think consciousness is like an unlimited, boundless thing. Anyway, moving on to the next thing. So I'm reading right now. I'm reading Pragmatist Philosophy of Science. So in one of the places in the book, the writer mentions how the intention of an entire community is formed by the intentions of individual beings. It does not have to necessarily be a unanimous intention that everyone shares, and that's how the we intention is formed. Even if it's different, something happens and those intentions come together and form the we intention. So the we intentions um, arise out of you and I intentions, right? But in pluribus, because they share the same consciousness, they don't have you and I intentions, or rather, there is no difference of you and I intentions. It's not just that the intentions aren't different, it's like, because it's a singular consciousness, it's just two different physical bodies, but they share the same consciousness. So there is no way for we intentions to arise. In the show, they keep referring to themselves as using like these community pronouns of we and us. Who is we? We is us. Episode 1. But the intentions of these people, how are they getting formed? Because we intentions are supposed to come out of you and I intentions, and I can think of whatever these people are in the hive mind as a community, right? But in a community, you and I intentions have to come together for the we intention to arise, but there is no distinction of you and I intention. So how is the we intention coming up? So my understanding of it is that they are not sharing one consciousness. My idea is there's an evil demon. Shout out Descartes. There's an evil demon ruling these people and have brainwashed. This evil demon has brainwashed them and made robots out of them somehow, and that is how. So there is that singular intention of that evil demon that is translated to these people. I don't think it's um yeah, I think there's a singular intention and that cannot be of different people. Yeah. Lastly, whole and parts. mm, in a normal world, people are part of a community. Let's say I'm part of this hostel and a lot of people are parts of this hostel, right? But my identity isn't entirely being part of this hostel. My identity, my personality exists out of this also. I am also a student, I am also a writer, I also do sports. So right, so wholes and parts, we get this idea that every part does not has to entirely just be a part of the whole. It is also in itself a thing independent of the whole. But in the pluribus world, they are entirely that, because their personalities, everything, have been meshed together. Or rather, they're everything now, they're every single personality. And what I'm curious, I'm going on a different path here, but stay with me. What I'm also curious about is what happens to their morality, because they share one consciousness, but it is not just one consciousness, right? It is all of these people's consciousness. So, what happened to morality? We all have different morals, different moralistic tendencies that we follow. What if there are, obviously there are contradicting tendencies also here? So what happens to that? And coming to the wholes and parts thing, in the pluribus world, their personality is nothing outside of the community, nothing outside of the whole. So their identity outside of the community does not exist. That is how we can say that they are not human beings and they are not people. Question is, would you feel bad about harming any of them? What if, like, Carol feels bad when the grenade goes off and Zusha is hurt. But is it really something to be sad about? I mean, she's sad because she inherently feels she hurt someone, because she had been living in this world where hurt equals something, where it means something. These people, they feel so bad they start crying. But is it really something that they feel? Or because crying is just an outcome of feeling sad, they just emulate that, that things are not going according to what I want, that means I get sad, sad means I am crying, thus I'm crying. I think we cannot feel bad about causing any harm to these individuals. I'm talking as if we're living in the pluribus world, but I think Carol shouldn't feel any harm, anything. She shouldn't feel sad about hurting any of these people because they don't feel it. Is it still valid though to hurt someone even if they don't feel it? even if it causes no consequences of hurt. Is it fine? Is it not? Let me know what you think.